Hi all, it's time to make stuffing for your turkey, and this is one of my favorites that I learned at a job I had many years ago. It's got chestnuts and apricots and beautiful flavors in it, and I think you're going to really love it. You can stuff the turkey with it, or you can make it outside of the turkey in a casserole dish, which I'm going to do. That way you can also make it for vegetarians and use veggie stock if you want. Please enjoy the video. I hope you have happy holidays and give this recipe a try. It is so luscious. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel yet, please do. I would love it. And you're going to find the ingredients listed below in the description box and the full recipe at Diane's World Cooking on Facebook. Have a great day.
Dice 1 large sweet onion, something like a Vidalia. Put your onion aside, and now we're going to dice 2 cups of celery. That ended up being about 3 celery stalks. Try and make the celery about a 1/2 inch in size. You actually want to see it a little bit. You want it to be a little bit substantial and not in any kind of a tiny mince. I used a total of 3 celery stalks. Now we're going to take a Dutch oven and turn it to medium heat, and yes, we're going to melt 2 sticks of unsalted butter. I know it seems like a lot, but don't forget you're not eating the whole recipe. After your butter is totally melted, you're going to add that bowl of chopped onion and chopped celery. Make sure not to brown the butter though. Stir this well, and then you're going to sprinkle just a little tiny bit of salt on it. Let's get our apricots ready. I want a really heaping full cup of my apricots, and I want to make sure that they're not sun-dried. You want them kind of soft. So they're called Mediterranean, and they're usually very easy to handle and very soft and flexible. Place your apricots in a small saucepan, and then you're going to add 1/4 cup of some kind of brandy. This is an Applejack, but you could use a Grand Marnier or a regular brandy, or if you don't want to add alcohol, you could just add like 1/4 cup of apple juice, apple cider, or orange juice. You just want to bubble this up for a few minutes and let that brandy saturate your apricots. Now you're going to finely mince some fresh sage. I have about 5 or 6 leaves here, and then I also have about 5 or 6 stalks of thyme, and you just want to pull the little leaves off of the thyme. Now you'll need about 2 to 3 cups of chestnuts. These are already cooked and roasted, and they're about a 5-ounce bag. So I have 2 cups here. I bought 2 bags, but you could even add 1 more if you really want. And you're going to cut them in half. Put your chestnuts aside, and now I'm going to open up a bag of stuffing mix. These are really very good. You can make your own by making croutons and adding some spices to them and baking them off, but I kind of like buying them all prepackaged. I'm going to add the fresh chopped sage and thyme to the stuffing mix. Now it's time to add the chestnuts and also your apricots and also the brandy that you soaked them in, or whatever liquid it was. Just throw it all into the same bowl for now. We're getting everything ready so that we can add it into that pan with the melted butter and the sauteed onions and celery. Besides tasting so good, this is a really colorful stuffing. You can see that I made sure that my onions were super soft, and the same with my celery, because they're not going to keep cooking later. So add your bowl of your stuffing mix and your apricots and your chestnuts and your herbs right into the pan. And you want to really make sure that you mix it well so that it's getting moist with that butter. But we are going to add some stock. Even right now, this is smelling so amazing, but just wait until you bake it off and you eat it. Look at how pretty that is. You'll want to season it with some fresh ground black pepper and just a little bit of salt. Give it a gentle stir so that you combine the salt and the pepper into the stuffing. Now measure out 2 cups of either chicken or turkey or veggie stock, depending on what you want. It doesn't seem like it's enough. It takes a little while for the stuffing to really absorb into it, so don't be tempted to add too much. You could maybe add about 1/2 cup more, or 1 more cup at the most, but I would stop right there. Now very gently stir it up and over. Really, after a little while, you're going to see how much that stock is going to absorb into the stuffing mix. There, now it starts to make a lot of sense. It's light and fluffy. I'm buttering about a 9 by 12 casserole dish. You can do something a little smaller, a little bit larger. It's very forgiving. And you're going to add all of your stuffing to it. And then what we're going to do is put some foil on top and put this into a preheated 350-degree oven. And we're going to bake it for about a half an hour. Cover it with some aluminum foil, but I do like to butter the foil first so it doesn't stick to the stuffing and it comes out really nicely. Place it in a center rack. Now you can make this the day before and then just warm it up during Thanksgiving or whatever your holiday is. That way you could roast your turkey first and your stuffing would be all done and ready to go.
So it's been 30 minutes and the buzzer went off. Let's see how this stuffing came out. Boy, does this smell good. You know, it doesn't have any crunchiness on the top. And if you like that on the stuffing, you can absolutely take the foil off and keep it in the oven. Maybe put it under the broiler for a few minutes, just a few minutes. Some people like that little crust. So let's get some on a plate and try this. Now I'm just going to scoop out a little bit to taste. It's not going to be too great without turkey, but you know, it just might be. And it's really very hot right now. I like a loose stuffing. I never put egg in my stuffing. I just don't believe in that. I think that's too tricky with problems of getting sick. So this is what it looks like. So let's try it. There's a chestnut here and there's an apricot. I want to grab a little of both if I can. I know it's a little bit hard with this angle to show you, but there it is. I don't think I've ever had a stuffing as good as this. It's got those beautiful flavors. That's a little bit of sweet from an apricot. The chestnut is so wonderful. And that herb flavor, that sage and that thyme is so outstanding. So you've got to make this. Please do it. You'll be won over, I think. And you can switch out the apricots if you're not a fan of them and use a dried apple. Just make sure you soak it. Cook it in that brandy for a little bit. You don't want them too dry. Or you could also steep them in some hot water until they get soft. Or if there's any other fruit, you could do cranberries. That would be great with chestnuts. Please enjoy and have great holidays or any time of the year. Hope it's wonderful. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, and I hope to get to see you soon at another one of my videos.